Can a prince save his bride from a citadel of alien invaders? Hey guys, welcome back to Kojo Recaps. The story begins with a massive dark castle settled amidst the beautiful land of a beautiful planet called Krull. Wonder where they got the title from. The fortress belongs to an alien leader named Beast, very original, who has invaded this planet and is now wreaking havoc with his army of slayers. To protect their world from all this chaos, Princess Lisa decides to marry Colwyn, the only prince of their enemy kingdom, in order to build a strong alliance between the two, so that they can fight off the Beast and bring peace to the world. I wonder how that romance is going to go. Though Lisa's father, King Eirig, is not pleased with her decision, he eventually gives in to his daughter's wishes. Today is the wedding ceremony, and they both appear to be awaiting the arrival of the prince and his troops at their palace. Soon, Colwyn and his father, King Krull, reach the palace accompanied by a few soldiers. However, since their path to the palace was occupied by the slayers, they lost about 300 of their soldiers along the way. But you know what? That's just the price you gotta pay for love, my dude. This sparks a feud between the kings as both Eirig and Krull disapprove of this marriage, but the growing terror of the Slayers forces them to compromise. Alright, get it together, folks. Colwyn and Lisa, on the other hand, love each other and are looking forward to their marriage. Well, that's a bonus. As the night follows, all the preparations for the marriage are made, and soon the rituals begin. The ritual-like dance. Palace is filled with a festive mood when suddenly the calls of happiness turn into mournful cries as the palace is attacked by the Slayers. Who saw that coming? Seeing the Slayers assault, Colwyn and the kings get ready to fight against them while they send Lisa away, attempting to get her out of the palace through an underground passage, even though it was her idea to begin with and she's probably the brains of the operation. Colwyn and his army try to battle their way out, but the Slayers continue to overpower them. Lisa, on the other hand, reaches the secret passage but is ambushed by the Slayers, who manage to capture her. She screams for Colwyn, but as he tries to help, he gets hit by the laser and faints while the Slayers take the princess away. It's so nice that they only hit him with a laser that made him faint and they didn't just murder him. The next day, Colwyn wakes up only to find an old man mending his wound as he lies amongst the dead bodies of his people. The old man introduces himself as Ynir, and informs him about the demise of both kings. He gives him his father's locket and tells him further about the princess's abduction, who is now imprisoned in the Black Fortress. Overwhelmed by the news, Colwyn breaks down like a sissy baby thing. Seeing the grief-stricken prince, Ynir, reminds him that now he is the king and should bear the responsibility of one. He further tells him to muster the courage to fight against the beast, or else the entire world will turn to ruins. He also shares how this won't be an easy battle, and thus he has come to his aid. Well, that's great. He tells him about glaive, a powerful weapon buried within the depths of the Granite Mountain's highest peaks. The glaive can help him defeat the beast, but only the right man will be able to retrieve it. Sounds kind of like a lightsaber or some other special thing in some other big fantasy movie they were trying to emulate. Determined to save the princess and his planet from the clutches of the beast, Colwyn decides to look for the weapon and agrees to follow Ynir, that name, who leads him to the mountains. When they reach the foot of the mountain, Ynir, how many times am I going to have to say this, asks Colwyn to continue on his own because he won't be able to accompany him any further. Wait, whoa. You just said you were here to help this guy in this huge battle he can't fight, but now you can't accompany him any further, okay? Moving on, he also advises him to be cautious because once he goes up the mountain, he won't be able to return without the glaive. What kind of video game nonsense is this? Climbing through dangerous rocky paths and steep cliffs, Colwyn somehow manages to reach the top of the mountain and finds a cave. Therein he obtains the glaive, which when touched transforms into a star-shaped flying blade. Oh, sounds like something Wesley Snipes would be very envious of. Lisa, on the other hand, is seen trapped inside the fortress, the big black angry, dark fortress, where she discovers that she has been brought here to marry Beast so that he can rule the world with her together, as there is a prophecy claiming that the king chosen by Lisa as her husband will rule the world and their son will rule the galaxy. Okay, was she going to bring this up earlier? Anyway. In the following scene, Colwyn returns to Ynir with a proud smile on his face as he shows him the glaive. Colwyn gains confidence as he holds the weapon in his hand and starts preparing to leave for the Black Fortress. Okay, alright, I see what Ynir was doing. So Colwyn had to get the thing, and then he got it, and he feels all special. There probably wasn't anything scary that was actually going to come and get him. However, his excitement turns to rage when he finds out that they won't be able to find the Black Fortress, as it keeps changing its location every day. What? Sometimes in the desert, sometimes in the mountains, and sometimes even on the seas, but never in the same place twice. Sounds like Beast knows how to use Airbnb. Colwyn starts losing hope, but Ynir calms him down and tells him that though he doesn't know where the fortress is, he does know how to find it. by seeking the vision of the blind emerald seer. On their way to meet the seer, Colwyn and Ynir meet Ergo, a funny magician. Colwyn finds him interesting and asks him to join them, as it might be unsafe to travel alone in the forest. Unsafe for who? Colwyn? Whatever. Initially, Ergo refuses, but after realizing the dangers lurking around him, he tags along. Well, of course, duh. Ynir decides to take a shortcut to the seer. Bad idea, but is ambushed by an armed group of bandits who attempt to rob them. They are former slaves and prisoners who are still bound by their broken chains. Colwyn fights with them and after realizing their potential, offers them to be his army in the battle against the beast. At first, they and their leader Torquil, wow, these names, reject the proposal and even call him a lunatic for claiming to be a king. But at last, Colwyn wins them over by proving his identity and promising them freedom from their shackles. Yeah, because, these are probably good guys. There was no reason for them to be in shackles to begin with. Who knows? They continue on their journey, unaware of the fact that a one-eyed man is watching all of this from afar. Creepy. On the way ahead, Ergo falls behind in order to get some herbs, and he notices a slayer behind him. The slayer is about to harm him when the one-eyed man comes to his rescue. He kills the slayer with his spear and vanishes. Scared, Ergo runs back to the group and informs them about the incident. Ynir then tells them about the one-eyed man called Cyclops, who shares an ancient hatred with the slayers. He explains to them how Cyclops formerly had two eyes just like them, but their ancestors made a deal with the beast to give up one of their eyes in exchange for the ability to see into the future. However, the beast deceived them. Who saw that coming? Probably not the Cyclops. As a result, they are not allowed to see anything into the future except for the time of their own death. Ugh. That's gross. They soon arrive at the blind seer's den. Ynir takes Colwyn, Ergo, and Torquil with him, say that 5 times fast, leaving others behind to keep watch. Passing through a magical rock, they enter a secret passage where they meet the seer and his young assistant Titch. Who came up with the names for this movie? Ynir asks for Seer's help in locating the Black Fortress, but the beast intervenes and prevents them from seeing the vision. How does he do that? We don't know. To solve the problem, the blind seer suggests going to the Emerald Temple instead to investigate the location of the fortress, as the beast's power won't be able to reach there. Why? Who knows? This temple is at the Great Swamp. Under the blind seer's guidance, Colwyn and his men start looking for the temple. However, while searching for it, they come across slayers who appear to be hiding in the fog, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Colwyn and the others fight bravely against the slayers and manage to defeat them with the help of a one-eyed man. The one-eyed man introduces himself as Rel and informs Colwyn that he has been following them all since the arrival of Ynir. Pleased to have Rel's support, Colwyn thanks him for his aid and invites him to join his team, which he accepts. Okay, then couldn't you have done that like 5 pages ago? I don't know. They continue to look for the temple further, but during the search, some of the men get stuck in quicksand because this is not the never-ending story, it is Krull. Colwyn and others make a human chain and help them, but unfortunately they don't manage to save one of their men, named Menno, who is swallowed up by the quicksand. Goodbye, Menno! While they are all busy with the rescue, the blind seer is left alone by his side. Just then, a duplicate sneaks behind the seer and brutally kills him and takes his place. Oh, man. This is like chess. Oblivious to this, Colwyn and the troop continue to accompany the fake seer as Titch leads the way, while Rel is left behind to keep a watch by the swamp. Keep watch for what? To see if Menno's going to come back out of that thing? I don't know. Suddenly, something strange catches Rel's eye as he discovers the dead body of the real seer floating in the quicksand. Okay, no, it's quicksand. It just sucked the other guy down. Why wouldn't that? Oh, whatever. Realizing the truth, he rushes to warn Colwyn and the others, who by now have arrived near the temple and are about to enter the place when the fake seer manages to separate Colwyn and the others and attacks him. But Rel saves Colwyn by killing the duplicate creature, which is later discovered to be one of the beast's weapons called the Changeling, which has the ability to shapeshift. I guess somebody threw out all the names from Dungeons & Dragons and made a movie about it. Rel informs them of the true seer's death, which comes as a shock to everyone, leaving them sad and hopeless because now there is no way to find the Black Fortress. However, Ynir tells them about their last option, because of course there is one, to go to the Widow of the Web. Torquil objects to this idea, reminding them that the Widow is a dangerous creature who helps no one. But Ynir insists, telling them that though it's risky, they have no other choice but to try, which is accurate, I think, unless Ynir's got another trick up his sleeve that he's going to let us know in another couple of pages. He further decides to go to the Widow all alone, leaving others behind to wait for his return. While resting, Keegan, one of Torquil's men, calls for his wife, who arrives with a maid to serve them. How does he do that? I don't know. Maybe he has 5G service. Don't worry about it. However, we soon discover that the maid is none other than one of the beast's pawns, who has come to seduce and kill Colwyn, but fails. Yin-Yer, on the other hand, arrives at the widow's cave after much struggle, but is met by a massive spider. Frightened, he calls out the widow's real name for help, to which she responds. He finally meets the widow, and it's revealed that they were actually lovers, but their love story ended tragically. Maybe that's why she's pissed. Yin-Yer begs her to help him find the new location of a black fortress, and though she agrees, in return he has to pay the price of his life. That's fair. Really, that's fair. Yin-Yer eventually manages to share the Black Fortress's new location with Colwyn as he takes his last breath. Colwyn buries Yin-Yer with due respect as he and his men prepare to reach the Black Fortress with the help of the Fire Mare, the fastest mare on Krull. They arrive at the fortress on time. On time for what? And begin climbing their way inside, but slayers attack them. Of course they do. They fight their way in. However, during the struggle, many of Colwyn's men lose their lives, along with Rel, while Ergo and Titch get separated from them. Using magic, Ergo transforms into a tiger to protect Titch from the slayers as they try to find their way back to the others. Colwyn, on the other hand, discovers Lisa's cage and destroys it using the glaive. They reunite and share a passionate kiss. Ooh la la. Securing Lisa under his care, Colwyn gets ready to fight with the beast and manages to hit him with the glaive. They start celebrating, believing the beast to be dead, but soon realize that this is not the case and he is still very much alive. Colwyn begins to lose hope, but Lisa reminds him that the power is not in the weapon, but in them, and that only they can defeat the beast together. They share their fire as husband and wife and eventually kill the beast. So this is like a porn now? Whatever. By the end of the movie, Colwyn, Lisa, Ergo, Titch, Torquil, and so many other names I can't pronounce, and one of his men survive and win the battle against evil, bringing peace to the world of Krull as they live happily ever after, because it didn't do well enough to warrant a sequel, so we don't have to worry about anything else going bad. That was it for this recap, guys. Let us know what you think about Krull in the comments below, and tell us what you want to see next. Thanks for watching. Until next time, dear viewer.